Hi, I'm Adam Gibbs of SportFight X. I'm standing here with Chris Connolley at Spartan Fitness in Birmingham, Alabama. Chris has produced a number of stars, including Marcus Brimage is fighting in UFC now. He's got a couple of upcoming guys that will be on the SportFight X card. Tell us a little bit about some of those guys that you have on there and how you feel like they'll do.
Man, I got some up-and-coming amateurs that are going to be really something to look forward to watching as their career progresses. Omar Johnson's one. He used to play football for Samford University. He's going to be real good. We got some of my smaller guys like Anthony Hoyt and Billy Joe Bradshaw and BJ are looking good. And then we've got my pros. Joshua Robertson is going to be fighting on this card as well. I got some young guys that haven't had any fights yet. But between the 6 guys we got on the card, I think there's one loss between the 6 of them. So, I mean, we're off to a pretty good start with them already. And we'll see what happens in their amateur career. But, yeah, I got some guys that are going to put on some exciting shows on the 28th for sure.
Now, Chris, is, like I said, he's produced a number of good guys. They fight across the country. This is going to be probably the first fight that you guys have had in Alabama for a long time, right?
It's going to be the first legitimate fight that we've had in Alabama in quite some time. With the passing of the athletic commission and all that stuff, man, it just seemed to me like for the longest it was still the same guys putting on the same crappy shows that were all amateurs and whatnot. And then SportFight X comes along. They're really wanting to do some good stuff and a good venue at Boutwell Auditorium, and we're all about it. Because before all that was going on, there used to be great fights here all the time. Mixed cards, lots of pros, lots of amateurs, bring in good name pros. You know what I mean? It really didn't take off because people really didn't do it well. But you guys have done an excellent job building your promotion up, and I think that it's time for us to get back on the Alabama scene for sure.
Well, it's really an honor to have those guys from Spartan Fitness on the card. Chris also, he's sister gyms with Rory Singer, Hardcore Gym. We were just in Athens, Georgia, just a couple of days ago. What is the relationship between you guys?
Me and Rory and Adam are real close friends. We started training together about the same time, started competing together at about the same time, and it's been cool. They've been kind of helped my guy's career develop, and we've kind of helped each other along the way. It was cool to watch Forrest Griffin grow and progress to the level that he's gotten in, and all of us were training together, in that gym in Athens, Georgia for the longest time, just a garage, something like this. So to watch how it's gone for them to put out 2 UFC champions and put some guys out there, it's been good. We go there all the time. We do a lot of sparring with those guys. We spend a lot of time in Atlanta and training with some of those guys, and it's a good relationship. It's helped out my guys a lot.
That's one of the things that we have spoke. We had a fight in Huntsville, Alabama, let's see, back in March, and that was one of the things that we try to explain to people, that the gyms in Atlanta are not like the gyms that are here. You probably have one of the only 2 or 3 gyms that produces like some good guys there. Why do you think that is? I mean, do you think it's a gap in the training, or maybe the guys that they train with, or what?
I think that Atlanta, for the longest time, has been the hub of mixed martial arts in the Southeast. New Orleans has got a lot of pretty top-notch gyms, but there's some really high-level jiu-jitsu instructors, some really high-level MMA coaches, Thai coaches, and there seems to be fights going on in Atlanta all the time. So there's lots of professional fighters training there, training professionally. And when you go to those gyms and spend time with those coaches and you see the way they do things, you come home and that's what you do, is try to emulate what those guys are doing. And when, like myself and Rory and Adam are done, when we were starting our gyms, there was nothing in Alabama, really. So you had to go out there and get it and see what the guys were doing at Militich Camp. We spent a couple of weeks at Pat Militich's place back in the day when all those guys were there. We've spent time at Couture's place and when he was at Team Quest in Oregon. We spent a lot of time training all over the place. You watch what those guys do, and you try to do the same things. And I think we've got some excellent coaches and a wealth of experience. I've been doing this since I was 16 years old. So the coaching is right. It's not, they don't sprinkle fairy dust on these guys at these other gyms. It's just hard work. And so if you come in, you put in the work, I think for so many guys, it's more about being able to tell the chick at the Quiznos that they're MMA fighters, wearing the tap-out shirt and playing the part, but not really doing a thing. Gyms in Alabama, you got gyms like Triad. Those guys are legit, like them, don't like them, whatever. They're legit. You really can't question their legitimacy. They train legitimate. They train the right way. They run their gym how a lot of gyms are run. Those guys would be up there. Guys like Todd Chappell at Lions Trustville, guy knows how to play jiu-jitsu. He puts out good jiu-jitsu players. And I think that when you have the experience that we have, the coaching experience, you put it in the room, you bring in the good guys, and iron sharpens iron, and that's it. And whether or not other guys are really going out there and seeing what the top-level gyms are doing and emulating them, going through, paying their dues and doing all those things, or if they're just throwing up a gym and the guys come in, and I saw this on the UFC last night, so this is what we're going to do, or here's a key to the gym, come in, work out whenever you want, there's no real structure or training, you know what I'm saying? Those guys just kind of come in, they're not really doing a thing. Those guys aren't fighters. They're wannabes. They're not fighters. You know, fighters live the lifestyle, and they do the training, and you know, in here, the standard for Spartan Fitness anyway is these guys got to put out, you know, X number of days a week, put in X number of hours, stand up, clinch, and ground, or they don't fight. No practice, no play. I don't need, you know, 27 wannabes that want to go tell the chick at the subway that I'm an MMA fighter. You know what I mean? I'd rather have 5 or 6 guys that are in here doing it for real. And that's, you know, the guys that can't hack it, well, they just go somewhere else. You know what I mean? The guys that can, they stay here, and they tend to progress through the system and do really, really well.
Once again, I'm staying with Chris Connolley, Spartan Fitness in Birmingham, Alabama. He couldn't have told it any better than what we tried to tell him back in March. This is a legitimate camp. Like I said, he's produced multiple guys that are that have excelled on a national level, UFC, a bunch of different places like that. He's in Birmingham, Alabama. Check him out at SpartanFitness.net. Is that
.net or SpartanFitnessMMA.com.
SpartanFitnessMMA.com. Adam Gibbs of SportFight X. Come out and check Chris's guys out at the Boutwell Auditorium Saturday, July the 28th, SportFight X.